Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me for my little part of day 2 of the writing retreat. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Forgot to hit mute. Sorry about that. I am exhausted. I have been writing since 5 a.m. this morning. So I'm going to take a little break in these sprints and do some tarot card pulls about what my next series should be. Kind of torn between three things. So what are y'all up to? Let me jump over to the comments. Let's see. Ange, hello, hello. How are ya? And Sarah, we have so many Sarahs around today. I love it. Melissa, hello. And Martina, how's it going for you? Jane says lots of setup, lots of setup, all set up. Reworking my opening scene, and then I'll see where it goes now that I know my story's tenfold and pivot points. This has been such a great retreat weekend. It really has. Melissa says I'm at 1,421 words for the day, but I have to get off for a while and spend some time putting together a puzzle with my little grandson, but I'll be back. Have fun with your grandson. We'll be here when you get back. Taylor, hello. Taylor's jumping in to complete their word goal for the day before they go out with friends tonight. Have fun with that. Sarah says, how many people have been sprinting all day since Kate started? Me, I have. I am one of those people. Sarah also says, I have been using sprints today to get a Substack post ready, but it's still not finished. So now I have an hour to get it done and posted. Yeah, I need to do some Substacking too. I have really dropped the Substack ball, so to speak, the last couple of weeks. Let's see. Jane says, I've been on since 7 a.m. this morning getting so much done. That's awesome. Melissa says, I've only been on since 10 a.m. That's still quite some time. Martina says, I started with K, but took an hour break. Today is a good day with lots of hyper focus time, taking full advantage of it. Awesome. Hey, Rita. Rita's diving into drafting with pencil. Awesome. And Sarah says, I don't know much about tarot cards, so please tell us all about it. I'd love to learn more. Maybe I'll do a video about my decks sometime. But yeah, we can definitely chat about tarot anytime. Allie, good afternoon. Finishing up work, so I can enjoy writing time guilt-free. Awesome and welcome. Melissa, ooh, I love tarot. Yeah, I think I'm going to be drawing with this deck, which is one of my all-time favorites, or this one's hard to read, the Fountain Tarot. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, those are the two decks I yanked off the shelf today. And Rita started with Angela. Awesome. And Nihalina, hello, how are you? Mirror Lane, woo, had to subscribe to chat. Here we go. Here we go. And thanks for subbing. And Mirror Lane also loves tarot. That's awesome. Which one? Both fabulous. Hi. Just send you through this retreat working on dev edits of my third book. Developmental edits are my favorite. So I hope you're enjoying that. And welcome to my channel. Hope you enjoy this being here. And Rita says, ooh, I have two of those decks, two different sizes. Fun. Oh, yeah, Lightseer. It is. I have it. I have two versions of it. I have this and I have the mini deck that's kind of holographic. Love it. It's just like, I don't know. I resonate so hard with the message on these cards. Mirror Lane says, I have the full size and the pocket size of the Lightseers too. We're going to be such good friends. All right, let's see. Sarah says, I started at 12 noon, currently 8:03 p.m. So I need to stop in an hour, assuming I have my Substack. That sounds like a good plan. All right, y'all. We have one of the other Sarahs coming up right after me. We have a quad block of Sarahs today. So I'm going to go ahead and start the first sprint. And we're going to do 3 25s and then a cool down sprint of either 10 or 15 minutes. Depends on how much talking we do during the break. Two more comments. Let's see. Yes, we are, Mirror Lane. Yes, we are. Hey, Elsa, welcome. How are you today? And Casey, hello, coming over from Sarah's. Excited to get more words, and we're excited to have you here. All right, we're going to jump into that first sprint. I will see y'all in 25 minutes. Oops. Okay, everyone. That was our first sprint. How did you do? I did, I pulled cards and the result was interesting. I got a whole lot of pentacles, and I think it's just a reminder that I don't need to chase trends. There's more to it than that, but we're not gonna. This isn't about my tarot cards. This is about the writing retreat. So we can talk about tarot in another video. But I'm excited because I think I've narrowed it down to two ideas, both of which are romantasy. I was thinking I was gonna jump into urban fantasy next, but I might be sticking with romantasy. So I'm kind of excited about that. Let me see how y'all are doing over here in the comments. Let's see, where did I leave off? Um, Juanita's here. Juanita says the jellyfish are mesmerizing, and yes, they are. I love writing with them up. I usually write with the jellyfish or the otters, and now I found this fabulous live feed of bears in Alaska standing in the river and trying to catch salmon when they jump. That is so much fun to watch. They're so cute. Okay, enough about my animal obsession. Simulated Sarah, she's up next, y'all, jumping in while I clean my office and do a few chores. Awesome. I pinned Sarah's link to the chat. It's also in my description box, and I will pop it in again before we are done here so you don't have to go searching for it. Let's see. Heather's here. Heather says, I have the place to myself for a bit. Been doing planning tasks. How is everyone? I'm good. I think everyone else is doing good. We seem to all be pretty active today, and that's exciting during the writing retreat. For me, that's exciting any day, though. Let's see. Okay, so Mirror Lane says, I'm editing. I almost made it through the rest of the chapter I'm working on. Awesome. Taylor got 665 words. Fantastic. Hey, Tina. Tina says, I did some world building and planning for the Mafia short reads romance I'm working on. That sounds great. Mafia short reads. Um, Sarah says, Substack post text is ready. Awesome. And yes, Amir Lane asked, have I heard of cozy romantasy? I have, but I am all about the spice. I do like a nice cozy break in the middle of reading a bunch of dark and spicy stuff, but I write all the spice and dark stuff. Sarah says next sprint I'll post it. Awesome. Casey got 291 words. I can talk, y'all. I promise. That's fantastic. Mirror Lane I watched the otters at the Vancouver Aquarium live feed. Yeah, that one's good. The Monterey Bay Aquarium is very good too, and I think the Georgia Aquarium has some otter videos also, and they're all on YouTube. Ingrid, hello. I'm working on a new blog for my website. Fun. Feral Champion, brainstorming possible finisher moves for the male lead in my wrestling romance novel. Wrestling romance. That sounds fun. Jesse, hey babe. Late to the party, been out for dinner, getting back into edits. Fun, fun. And Mira Lane says, oh, so what I love about the cozy romantasy. Oh, it does? Okay. I did not know cozy romantasy had spice. That kind of goes opposite of what most cozy is. Like, because most cozy is no spice or very, very low closed door spice. I'll have to check that out. And Marilyn also says, heck yes, I will find a recommend and put it in here. Okay, great. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah, okay. Let me know, definitely. All right, so what's everybody doing in the next sprint? I am going to do another reading and see if it can help me decide between the two romantasy ideas I have. I don't know about y'all, but I have an entire like database of story ideas. I was keeping it in Trello. I'm currently in the process of moving all that over to Obsidian. And a lot of those ideas I just have to get out of my head and then I never think of them again. But there are a few that I'm like, I have got to write this. It's just a matter of when do I write it. Let's see. Hafren, whoops, everything jumped. Hold on. Hafren's here. Hey, Hafren, what you working on? Sarah says, I think cozy is more low stakes than low spice. Okay. Well, cozy mysteries, though, they don't have a lot of spice. Casey says, going to keep working on a fantasy book. Awesome. I love fantasy, obviously. Angela says, I thought cozy meant little to no violence. It means all of the above, I think. Although there are some people pushing the the envelope on the spice part of it. Juanita says, "Genres are changing these days, so many subgenres to mix and match. I love being a writer today." Yeah, me too. And Tina says, "Hopefully finish my chapter." Awesome. All right, I'm gonna start the timer over because I talked right through the break. No surprise there. I'll see y'all in 25 minutes. Okay, that was our second 25-minute sprint. How did y'all do? I did some research on tarot spreads and found one that I can use to compare, to kind of not compare, but kind of work my way through the ideas that I have and see if maybe one of them, takes the lead because I can't decide. Also, we have been here for an hour, so make sure you're hydrating, get up and move around if you're able. And let's stay hydrated and healthy. Okay, where did I leave off? Whoops. Oh geez, it jumped all over. Okay, here we go. Mira Lane says author Sarah Hawley series Glimmer Falls first book is called A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I think I've heard about this one. Mira also says, so for romantasy, the cozy is just that there isn't a large amount of violence on the page. What makes it cozy is like that small community feel, like in a cozy mystery, but spices in. Oh, okay. Cool. And Eloise says, I like The Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, and I've definitely encountered cozy with spice. To me, cozy is more about having warm, fuzzy vibes and less violence, etc., if that makes sense. That does make sense. And I guess I am just dealing with more like, thinking more like cozy, traditional cozy mysteries that have been around for a while. Like, what is the one with the Aurora Teagarden books, or the Baker in Minnesota, those kind of things. Let's see. Mira Lane says to Eloise, same. I watched an interview on Cozy Romantasy, and that's what they were saying too. Oh, cool. And Heather says, I did some brainstorming and stream hopping to say hi to some folks and joined their Discord server. Awesome. Barb's here. She says, hi, Sarah, doing too many things at once, refocusing with y'all. Thanks for being here. I am so glad you're here, and I get it about doing too many things at once. That is like my default setting. Let's see. Heather says, I have been trying to refocus as well, to Barb, and hi. Rita napped. That's always good. I am terrible at napping. I wish that I could nap, but I either end up like rolling over and grabbing a notebook and writing down story stuff, or if I do actually take a nap, I'm up all night, and I struggle with insomnia as it is, so I'm just not a big napper. I wish I was. Naps are just, they always sound divine. Taylor says, catching up on video replays. I have so much of that to do. And Mira says, finish the chapter I was working on. That's awesome. Pamela's here. Hello, Pamela. 368 for the day, but also I've been working on sourdough and cleaning a bit too. I love sourdough. You had me at sourdough. Welcome. And Tina says chapter 7 is done. Awesome. Angela, and why is this jumping? Okay. Angela says, I have some writing to do, but I'm researching advent calendar boxes. Is this for merch or like a book thing, or just in general? Just curious. I love advent calendars. Juanita says, I'm working on character sheets for a few new characters. That's awesome. I never do character sheets. I probably should, but I don't know. I just never do. Casey wrote 731 words. That's awesome. Ooh, broke 70,000 for the manuscript. That is double awesome. That's awesome because the 60K to 70K slog is always the hardest for me. That's interesting. For me, it's like 30 to 50K. Anyway, congratulations. That's a big deal. Jane says 514, that sprint. Yay. That's awesome too. And Awkward Indie Author, hello. Oh my gosh, I love your icon so much. That just gave me such like 90s vibes. Got the meet cute in my longhand side project. That's awesome. Welcome. Mira Lane says, Hannah Swenson. Yes, that's her name. Love them. Yeah, I read several of them and then just kind of lost touch with the series or something. But yeah, those are great cozy mysteries. Juanita says, to me, cozy means spice behind closed doors and violence happens behind the scenes. See, I think it means something different, a little different to a lot of us. Casey's got to bounce to go get ready for a friend's for dinner and a birthday party. Thanks for the sprints. Good luck, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit, Casey, and have fun tonight. And Jessie is chugging along with edits. Awesome. Heather, I grabbed a couple of things from my iPad and organized my thoughts on editing my nonfiction book. Amazing. And just looking into advent calendars, 24 days of washi, and then a notebook on day 25, or making it for a month of. Ooh, I love this idea. I love it. Juanita says, Clippy, love the thumbnail. Yeah, Clippy's the name. Heather, including finding a journal that's even issuing for over 1 week. Casey says to Angela, I'm in for an advent calendar. So am I. And Heather, that's been missing for a week. Okay, that makes more sense. And Jesse says, that sounds amazing to Angela. Heather says hi to Angela. Mira says, I'm going to go descale my coffee machine and then have more coffee. I approve of this. Enjoy the coffee. And Martina says, in film, cozy is very specific and has no spice, just like the Hallmark cozy mysteries. Yeah, that was my definition. But now I'm thinking I might need to rethink that. Okay, I'm going to restart the timer. We're going to do our last 25-minute sprint, and then we'll do a cool down. See y'all in a bit. Okay, how did y'all do? I did a tarot spread for one of my ideas. Now I have more ideas to do tarot spreads for. I do think that the one I just did the spread for is not the next series, but I'm reserving judgment until I do the other three. All right, let's jump over to the comments. Where did I leave off? Um, you are quite welcome, Angela. We will be looking for more information for those advent calendar boxes. That sounds so cool. Sarah posted her Substack. Awesome. And she's off to walk the dog. We'll hopefully be back in 25 to say bye to everyone. We are going to do a cool down sprint. So even if you're not back in 25, we'll still be here. Jordan, how are you? And Tina says, I'm going to take a break for my eyes. Thank you so much for the sprints, and I hope to join you again. Go rest those eyes, and I hope to see you here again. And Juanita says, I think as long as you tell your readers what kind of cozy to expect, spicy or traditional, you can make it whatever you want. Rules change all the time. Yeah, agreed. 100%. Definitely agree with that. Jordan says, hi guys, I'm going through messages. And for me, I thought, I'm not sure that's supposed to be the abbreviation for doctor, but I thought DR were cozy in books and stories were worried, and story is worried. Violence is down, and it's more about love and friendship. Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people think about cozy too. But like other people have said in the chat, the rules are always changing, especially right now. And Jordan also says, I like to think that if it's a spicy, cozy mystery, it's more about trauma, love, character development, and character is going to have a relationship with the other main character. Also, I meant character development. Yeah, okay. And also, my friends, I don't have a tarot deck like all of you guys do, but I do have a Yu-Gi-Oh deck with a dark magician that I got last year for Christmas. I do not know what a Yu-Gi-Oh deck is. I'm going to have to Google that in the next sprint, but awesome. Okay, and Mira Lane says, the descaling has begun. I forgot how long it takes. It does take a while. Stay strong. You got this. Angela, hey, how are you? Angela says, I need to start reading and catching up to where I'm at in the story. It sounds like a good plan. Failed Champion started making a section for wrestling moves in my series Bible. That's a good idea. Pamela says, 812 for my days total now, and story is moving forward. Yay, that's awesome. Let's see. Nicole, hi, 476 words. That's amazing. Lainey, hey everyone, just woke up and I'm doing admin stuff. Hello, Lainey, welcome. And Sarah's back from the dog walk. Awesome. Angela says that sounds like an interesting deck to Jordan. Yeah, it does. Angela says research and snacks. Snacks? I'm all about snacks. I'm going to need a snack when we're done here. And Sarah says to Mira Lane, you're making me want to make another pot of coffee. Hubby and I have a B-Day party tonight to stay awake for. Well, there you go. That's all the more reason. Go make that coffee, Sarah. All right. So what's everybody doing in the next sprint? I am still doing tarot with the Light Seer deck. I might switch to the Fountain deck for one of these. I'm not sure yet. Let's see. Where did I leave off here? Sarah says finished Substack was 1325 words. Amazing. I have to get my Substack short story ready for Thursday. I drop serial episodes on Sunday, podcast episode on Wednesday, and then the short story on Thursday. So it's busy month for me. Mira Lane says to simulated Sarah, as you should. See, we're all in agreement. Sarah, go get more coffee. And this Sarah says next sprint is kitchen cleanup before bed. That sounds like a good idea. I probably need to do that too. Nicole says continuing writing. I'm just over 5,000 words for the day. That's amazing. I want to be at 8,000, if not higher by the end of the day. 5,000 is amazing. 8,000 is amazing too. You should be happy with either one of those numbers. I would be thrilled. 8,000. I can do 5,000 during these writing retreats a lot on one day. 8,000 3 days in a row would be a lot for me. Are you trying to hit that number each day, or is that your total for the whole weekend? Tell me, I need to know. Let's see. Let me look at the calendar. So after simulated Sarah, we have Sarah D, who is plan positive. So there you go. I'm going to change this timer to, you know what? Let's do a 10-minute cool down sprint, and then everybody will have a nice break before simulated Sarah starts. So many Sarahs. I love it. Let's see. Here we go. See you in 10, y'all. Mm. Okay, everyone, that was our last sprint. I'm still playing with my tarot deck, so I'm just gonna hop over to the comments real quick and we'll wrap things up. Juanita says 5K is amazing. I'm not sure I can get that in a full week. Yeah, we all write at different speeds and have different capacity. Some days I can bang out 8,000-9,000 words. Other days I struggle for like 100. So yeah. Nicole says, no, my total for yesterday was 4,000. I had to work. Today, my goal is 8,000 and tomorrow is 8,000 and stretch goal of 10,000 because that sounds cool. It really does. And Sarah says, Sarah is just collecting Sarah's with all the different spellings. Yeah, I love that it's not just all the same spelling. I think that's cool. Let's see. And Juanita says that was a quick 10 minutes. Yeah, it really was. Jane, I think you cut off here, but thanks for being here. Martina says, thanks for hosting. Thanks for being here to you too. And Angela says, thanks for hosting, Sarah. Still researching and having fun doing it. Awesome. Jane says, I'm falling into the realm of diminishing returns. Going to take this next sprint off. That's a great idea. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Laura, thanks for being here. I didn't see you come in. I will see you all over in Sarah's sprints for a few minutes, and then I got to run and take my mom some ice cream. It's my night to give her ice cream. We rotate in the family. So, all right, y'all. Sarah says, on a good day, I can draft 10,000. An average day is 6, but the stream of consciousness, then I spend years editing. Yeah, we all have different strengths. Thank you, Mira, for being here. It was nice meeting you. And Sarah, yep, see you tomorrow with Kay. Will do. All right, y'all, I'm going to go. We have a little over 10 minutes for a break. So do what you got to do. I love you all, and I will see you at Sarah's. Bye, everyone.